So today we are looking at the Mellif hot glue gun. This was sent to me by Mellif to make a review on it, and hopefully a good one, so they could sell a whole bunch of them. I'm kind of curious myself. I know the Ryobi one is apparently a very good hot glue gun. Unfortunately, my Ryobi batteries that I've had are pretty much all wasted at this point in time. But I have plenty of these yellow batteries here, and yeah, let's get into the specs of this here thing. This is the box it comes in. It is 100 watt, which if the math tells me right, it's going to pull 5 amps. I don't think it's going to pull 5 amps continuously. I think once it reaches its temperature, it's going to shut the little heating element off in here and then kind of go into standby mode until you start pumping it. But all that being said, if you're running a 5 amp hour battery on it, theoretically you should be able to run it for an hour. There's that. It uses 11 millimeter glue sticks. Temperature range 356 to 392 degrees Fahrenheit. I can't do that math in my head, so I'll put it in there what that is in Celsius. 3 to 5 minute heat up time. That sounds like sounds a little long for the wattage, but we'll take a look at that. And this particular one is actually offered in the red and black configuration, which would be your Milwaukee, and a blue and black configuration, which I'm assuming would be your Makita. So what comes in the box? Obviously the tool, no battery included, obviously. I forgot to mention, this, as of the time I recorded this video, is cost you about 30 bucks, which is comparable to the Ryobi one. So you get the gun, or the hot glue gun, in the box. You get some instructions, which you might need them, and you get a big old pack of 11 millimeter hot glue gun sticks. I'm not sure how many's in there. I'm gonna call that a lot. And yeah, this particular glue gun, right now I'm not using glue guns that much. Back when I started in the model aviation, you can see one of my old planes sitting up there on the wall back there. I use these a lot, starting off with the Flite Test type deals, where you get the foam board and you kind of glue stuff together. I will link their channel in there if any of you guys are interested in getting into model aviation. They make you could buy little kits for like 20 bucks. It's made out of foam board, and you glue it together, and a couple hours later you got a flying airplane. I mean, it's a little more difficult than that, but it's a good, inexpensive way to get into the hobby, so you don't have to dump a whole bunch of money into stuff. And when you crash them, you could laugh because you're only into the thing for 20 bucks. But yeah, that aside, these guys, when I was even doing my drone stuff that you guys have seen a million times, they were good for quick field repairs on stuff. You get a camera that the mount busted loose on it, and put a little hot glue gun on it, and keep you flying. They were also good for kind of airplane kits. I'm gonna smack myself in the face with that. Like, this guy is completely put together with hot glue, and it's been repaired a few times. This is the Nano Sky Hunter FPV edition. It's got the camera on the front, so you can sit there and you feel like you're flying an airplane. It's actually a lot of fun. But yeah, just gonna throw that back there. And yeah, so like I said, nowadays I really don't use hot glue guns too much. I think my kid will probably end up using it more for school projects, and my wife for doing arts and crafts crap. But it's still worth testing, and it's still worth having around as far as I'm concerned. So I think what we'll do is we'll set it up, so we'll see how many amps this thing pulls, and how long it takes to heat up, what the temperature actually is coming out of the nose, and kind of just keep pumping glue through it to see if it can keep up with itself. So you know, let's reconfigure a couple of cameras here and get to testing. Alright, we got everything set up here. The benchtop power supply is set for 20 volts, maxed out at 10 amps. We got a stick ready to begin its melting process. And we got this guy. We're going to hook it up right here, and we're just going to check to see how long this thing takes to get to the point where you can start squirting glue out of the end of it. So let's turn that on. I'm both going at the same time. If this looks like it's going to take a while, I'm probably just going to cut ahead. But yeah, started off at 5 amps. It's starting to settle down. 72 watts is what we're looking at. Starting to get a little bit of sprue coming out of the end of it. And I think once this is up to temperature to the point where you could actually use it, you will see that amperage drop down. Once it satisfies its temperature, it's continuing to drop. So let it do its thing. All right, 1 minute in, and we're squirt glue. Let's check it again at 2 minutes just to see. All right, at 2 minutes, the amps are continuing to drop, and we got some good flow now. Let's let it run to 3 minutes now. All right, we're at the 3 minute mark. The stuff I already put down is blazing ass hot, and yeah, it seems like that's about the max we're going for. Running at about 1.5 amps, 30 watts. So, like I said, once it comes up to temperature, the amp load kind of drops on it. So, yeah, let's hook this thing up to a battery. Check see what the actual temperature is of the juice coming out of it. Well, I had an idea to take my thermocouple here and see what the temperature of the glue actually coming out of the end of the thing was. The problem is that if you put tinfoil around a thermocouple, it makes it do all kinds of cool stuff. The reason I'm using tinfoil is because I didn't want to, have to clean hot glue off the end of my thing. So we're just going to go straight on to, how'd that thing go? Straight on to just oozing the crap out of it, and maybe we'll poke this in there just enough so I can see if I can get a temperature reading off of it. I'm not making any promises here. So, got a secondary stick in there, and we're just going to keep pumping. No, it doesn't like reading that. All right, let's just pump it. All right, get a little bit more resistance, and that is a shit ton of friggin' hot glue sitting there. That is, yes, keeping up very, very well. I don't even know if my 110 one could keep up that well. A little bit more resistance, but it just blew right through a stick of hot glue. Let's try another one. Oh yeah, this thing just freaking eats it. Just keeps going. Release the shmoo, indeed. All right, that's pretty impressive. I mean, it'll still go. Very cool. So that is the Mellif hot glue gun. It's definitely hot, and it's definitely a glue gun. I'm actually kind of impressed with it. I mean, you saw on the amp, on the power supply here, we dropped down to about 1.5 amps when it was somewhat sitting idle. So if you put a 5 amp hour battery on this thing, I can't see why you wouldn't get a couple hours of runtime, unless you're just doing what I was doing. I don't see why anybody would ever need to melt that many glue sticks in a row like that, but it kept up with it. I mean, it was squirting them out as fast as I could feed them in, which is kind of cool. Back when I was doing the old flight test airplanes, this would have came in handy because it's nice and hot, and once you get to the end of the line that you're trying to hot glue, if it's nice and hot, the beginning of the line isn't starting to set up. And yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of wish I had it back then, but I don't. And yeah, so from now on, it'll just kind of sit around the house, and my daughter or my wife for crafty type stuff and school projects, they'll be able to use it. And yeah, I like it. So, as always, I will drop a Amazon affiliate link. It is my affiliate link in the thing, not the people who sent me this, down in the description there if you want to look at it. Like I said, on the link that I'm going to put down there, they actually show the red Milwaukee version of this as an alternative. I think that one's like 27, 26 bucks, so it's a little bit cheaper than this one, which is 30 bucks as of recording this. So, yeah, if you need one, I can't see how you'd go wrong. I don't see why the red version would be any different. It's just different battery adapter, but yeah, I like it. So, as always, any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down in the description. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Here you go.